with the title of Sunni Shia Harmony and Conflict in Jepara, in Central Java, and Sampang in Madura. Okay, Mr. Munawar, it's your turn. The time is yours. Please the presentation. Ya udah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for
Waalaikumsalam
the time.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It is a great opportunity for me to present the research on this international conference. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Raniri Munawar, and I'm the team of Munawar Ahmad. Okay, on this occasion, I would like to present. Sorry, this is
Indonesia in Jepara and Sampang. Conflict and harmony.
We have sent already the newest presentation PPT file. Do you have accept? This is
You can send to the chat, and our team will
the other one.
process the.
We have sent already the newest presentation file.
Oh yes, wait.
Okay. Okay, thank you. On this occasion, I would like to present the research with title Sunni Shia Harmony and Conflict in Jepara, Central Java, and Sampang, Madura. Okay, next. Okay, we start from introduction. Shia Islam in its early days was a fringe and opposition movement amidst the hegemony of Sunni Islam. After the decline of the Shia Abbasid Caliphate, it grew and grew until the establishment of Shia Sultanates with Iran as its primary base. The Sunni-Shia conflict in Middle East is historical. In this century, the Wahhabi and Salafi are most incessantly preaching defiant Shia infidels and outside of Islam, whereas the international ulama conferences emphasize that Shia is the same as Sunni, they are equally Islamic. The Indonesian Muslim community adheres to Sunni Islam. However, the Indonesian people, with their primary base of Javanese and Minang culture, are open to and accept differences. Meanwhile, Madura is more closed. The research aims to produce a model of Sunni-Shia relationship in Bangsri Jepara district, Central Java, and also Omben Sampang district, Madura. The research method that we are using is ex post facto, and the data sources are investigative reports of national media and scientific journal. Okay, next. And this is how Islam after the prophets died. First, when Prophet was still alive, there was only one Islam, a prophet as reference. Then, 1 to 3 days after the Prophet's death, disputes began. And 25 years later, radical Islam emerged. They are infidel of Muslim. The first time they killed Caliph Utsman, and 30 years later, they killed Imam Ali bin Abi Thalib. Shia Islam emerged amid the hegemony of Sunni Islam, but Sunni rulers have always rejected the Shia. Then, hundreds of years later, the Shia Sultanate was founded. Next. Okay, this is the picture map of Shia countries. As we can see, these are Middle East countries, and about 15% of the Muslim population are Shia. They are scattered in Iran, Yemen, Iraq, Azerbaijan, Syria, Bahrain, Pakistan, India, and etc. The Shia's presence in Indonesia, including us in many parts of the world, is often associated with the 1979 Iranian Islamic Revolution under the leadership of Imam Khomeini. Even though Shia influence has existed since the early period of the spread of Islam in Indonesia in the 7th century before Masehi. Next. Risalah Aman is a declaration published in 2004 that calls for tolerance and unity in Muslim. In the following year, in 2005, an Islamic convention brought together 200 ulama from more than 50 countries to produce a fatwa with 3 articles. This fatwa focuses on recognition of Mazhab and various other sciences of Islam, namely Sunni Hanafi, Sunni Hambali, Sunni Maliki, Sunni Syafi'i, Shia Ja'fari, Shia Zaidi, Ibadi, and Zahiri. And this fatwa prohibits the mention of kafir for followers of the teaching Ash'ari, original Tasawuf, and true Salafis. Next. And we quote a statement from one of the articles of International Conference of Al-Azhar 2020 about the prohibition of takfir or accusing kafir. Takfir is a disaster experienced by Muslims from the past to the present. No one dares to do it except for people who are insolent or reckless towards religion or don't know its teaching. And religious texts explain that the accusation of being infidel can be turned against the perpetrator so that he must bear his sin. And ignorance is a person's heart, which is a special right of Allah that is not owned by other parties. And if there is someone who say words that have the potential to contain kafir from 99 aspects and do not contain kafir from one aspect, then he cannot be accused of being kafir because of the element of possibility or belief. And this is in line with the rule of something that exists because of belief will not be lost except with belief. Okay, next. And this is the response of Indonesian Islamic Organization to Shia. As we can see on the left side, these are some Islamic organizations and ulama Islamic figures who are accepting Shia as present. The first is Executive Board of Nahdlatul Ulama or PBNU, and the second is Muhammadiyah Central Board or PP Muhammadiyah. The third are moderate and tolerant Islamic figures such as Kiai Haji Gus Dur, Prof. Harun Nasution, Cak Nur, Prof. Kiai Haji Said Akil Siroj, Prof. Kiai Haji Din Samsudin, Prof. Kiai Haji Quraisy Ab, Buya Syafi Ma'arif, and etc. And on the right side, these are some Islamic organizations and ulama Islamic figures who are rejecting Shia as present. The first is Anti-Shia National Alliance, the second is Islamic Unity or Persatuan Islam, and the third are Salafi and Wahhabi influenced by ulama or Islamic figure. Next. Okay, Sunni Shia harmony and conflict in Java and Madura. First, we cannot separate Javanese Islam from Wali Songo. They built Javanese society as moderate and tolerant Muslim. The Sunni Shia harmonious relationship in Jepara is in line with Wali Songo Islamic model. And Sunni Shia relations in Jepara are harmonious. They live together peacefully, and contributing factor is that local ulama and Sunni Islamic boarding school in one village accept Shia as present, join social religious activities, and support from NGO, Established Peace, and Gus Durian, and from Islamic organizations, especially NU and MUI Jepara Regency. The Shia Jepara can interact socially openly with the Sunni majority in religious activities and join national commemoration. They collectively perform tahlilan or prayer of death, commemorate the Prophet's birthday, and also visit the graves. Meanwhile, Sunni Shia relations in Sampang district Madura are terrible. Ulama and mass organization rejected Shia as present. They obstructed the activities of the Shia. They even burn mosques, Islamic boarding school, and the houses of Shia residents. Then based on the fatwa of the MUI, NU, and Basrang of Sampang Regency, the East Java MUI fatwa strengthened, which the Shia minority was forced to leave their hometowns, which the local government placed in Sidoarjo Regency outside Madura. And until now, from 2012 to 2020, they were still living in refugee camps because of the local government still adheres to the regional fatwa MUI that Shia was heretical. Previous findings of violence against the Shia minority seem to be inaccurate in Sampang. First, the anti-Shia movement by Salafi together with HTI, FPI, and the NU is not just a theological movement. They have a bigger agenda, namely challenging religious authority and local power, which is dominated by moderate Muslims, such as the case in Bondowoso, East Java. Second, The combined national and Shia forces, as in Yogyakarta, answered the negative geopolitical spillover effect in the Middle East Sunni-Shia conflict. We did not find these three factors in the Sampang. The violence of Sunni Sampang against the Shia minority is more because of the exclusivism of the ulama, Islamic organization, and the local Muslim community. They see Shia's presence as a disruption to the religion and cultural order of some people. With the cultural capital of Charok, they end up committing violence against the Shia people to expel them from the outside Madura area. The local Shia residents, even though they are native Maduris,
Sorry, your
seem
time
to be-
is 1 minute left.
seem
Mr.
to be engaging in
Munawar.
cultural resistance. First, the Shia preach openly, even though the local people are fanatical Sunni Muslim. And the second, they held the commemoration of Prophet's birthday in the mosque, even though the local tradition was to commemorate Prophet's birthday in the houses. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you very much for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the presentation. If you have question for Mr. Munawar, you can ask at the end session. And we will move to the next presenter is Miss Henny.
The question?
The
Maybe.
question at the end session, Pak.
Oh, end session. Okay. Thank you.
We have the next presenter is Miss Henny ya. Miss Henny, are you ready? Miss Henny?